Imagine watching your favorite NBA team fight tooth and nail for a championship, every play electrifying, every shot a moment of hope or heartbreak. Now imagine finding out that one man, someone you didn't even notice on the court, was pulling strings behind the scenes, turning those moments into a facade. What if the game you were so emotionally invested in was never fair to begin with? This isn't the plot of some dramatic sports movie, it's the chilling reality of the Tim Donaghy scandal, a story that shook the NBA to its core and left fans questioning whether the game they love was ever truly pure. Donaghy wasn't just a referee, he was a trusted enforcer of the rules. And yet, his actions would spark one of the greatest controversies in sports history, exposing cracks in the very foundation of professional basketball and forever altering how we see the game. Tim Donaghy's journey to infamy began long before the scandal became public. Joining the NBA in 1994, he quickly established himself as a reliable referee, officiating hundreds of games over a 13-year career. For many fans, referees are invisible presences only noticed when they make a controversial call. Donaghy used this invisibility to his advantage. For years, he quietly manipulated the outcomes of games, all while maintaining the facade of an impartial official. But beneath that veneer of professionalism lay a dark secret. Donaghy was gambling on the very games he officiated, using his insider knowledge to enrich himself and others. The scheme was as audacious as it was insidious. Donaghy didn't just bet on NBA games, he worked closely with gamblers, providing them with critical information about teams, players, and other referees. This wasn't just casual betting, it was a calculated effort to influence games and profit from the results. Donaghy allegedly shared details about player injuries, referee tendencies, and even specific instructions he and his colleagues received from the league about how to officiate certain games. With this information, professional gamblers made precise bets, earning millions while Donaghy pocketed his share.
Lots of men who are involved in sports gamble. If I was to suggest to you, Tim, if I said to you, do NBA officials gamble? Are there any of them that gamble? Forget the NBA, just gamble. What would you say the percentage is?
100%.
100% of NBA refs gamble.
Absolutely. I mean, when I was there and David Stern did his investigation, he said legal gambling will cost you your job. Illegal gambling will cost you your freedom. And then they did an investigation and found out 58 out of the 60 NBA referees gambled in some way, shape, or form, and they changed the rules. So now basically they're allowed to gamble.
Do you believe any official currently gambles on the NBA?
You know, no, I can't say that I know for a fact, but I do think that when you're at a party and you're discussing the NBA, you're always going to have that guy that comes up to you and tries to pump you for information on, you know, who you think is going to win a series or who, the league wants to crack down on in certain situations. So there's always information out there that gambler wants to extract from that official.
To understand the gravity of Donaghy's actions, you need to consider the power referees wield in basketball. Unlike many sports, basketball is fast-paced, with referees making split-second decisions that can significantly impact a game's flow. A single foul call or the lack thereof can shift momentum, influence the score, or even determine the outcome of a closely contested game. Donaghy exploited this reality to manipulate games subtly. He didn't need to blatantly favor one team. Instead, he could make small, seemingly innocuous decisions that collectively tilted the balance. A foul called on a star player early in the game, forcing them to the bench, or a non-call on a critical play could achieve the desired result without raising suspicion. The scandal erupted in 2007 when an unrelated FBI investigation into organized crime uncovered Donaghy's involvement with gambling rings. What started as a probe into mob activity spiraled into one of the most damaging controversies in NBA history. The FBI revealed that Donaghy had bet on games he officiated for at least 4 years, violating not only the league's rules but also federal law. Worse, his connections to mob-linked gamblers added an element of danger and intrigue, making the story a media sensation. When the news broke, the NBA's reputation took a massive hit. Fans, players, and analysts alike were left reeling, questioning the integrity of the sport. For years, conspiracy theories about biased officiating and league favoritism had swirled in NBA circles, but Donaghy's actions gave those theories newfound credibility. Was he the only one? Were other referees involved? Had past games and championships been tainted? The scandal opened a Pandora's box of doubt, one that the league has struggled to close ever since. Perhaps the most infamous example linked to Donaghy's allegations is the 2002 Western Conference Finals between the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers. Although Donaghy didn't officiate Game 6 of that series, he later alleged that the game had been influenced to ensure a Game 7, a scenario that would generate more revenue for the league. Game 6 remains one of the most controversial games in NBA history, with a lopsided number of fouls called against the Kings in the fourth quarter, allowing the Lakers to mount a comeback. While Donaghy's claims about this game remain unproven, they added fuel to the fire, with many fans and analysts viewing the game as a prime example of biased officiating. The fallout from the scandal was swift and far-reaching. NBA Commissioner David Stern, who had cultivated the league's image as a global sports powerhouse, faced an unprecedented crisis. Stern described Donaghy as a rogue, isolated criminal, in an attempt to reassure fans that this was an isolated incident. However, the damage was done. Trust in the league's officiating system was shattered, and every close or controversial call in subsequent games was met with heightened skepticism. The NBA implemented several reforms to restore its credibility, including stricter monitoring of referees, enhanced background checks, and increased transparency around officiating decisions.
What does your gut tell you whether Tim Donaghy influenced the outcome of games by making excessive calls?
We can't find it, and his fellow refs can't find it, and as best as we can tell, law enforcement can't find it. So I accept the prevailing view.
For the players, the scandal was a bitter pill to swallow. Many NBA athletes dedicate their lives to the game, sacrificing their time, health, and personal lives to compete at the highest level. To discover that their efforts could be undermined by a referee's greed was a profound betrayal. Teams that may have been directly affected by Donaghy's actions, such as those who lost critical playoff games during his tenure, were left wondering how their seasons might have unfolded differently if the games had been fair. Even teams not directly impacted couldn't escape the shadow of doubt that Donaghy cast over the league. Donaghy's personal consequences were severe but did little to redeem him in the eyes of the public. In 2008, he pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and transmitting betting information across state lines, receiving a 15-month federal prison sentence. After serving his time, Donaghy attempted to rebuild his life, even publishing a memoir titled Personal Foul, a first-person account of the scandal that rocked the NBA. In the book, he made further allegations about systemic issues in the league, claiming that referees were sometimes instructed to favor certain teams or players to boost ratings or revenue. While these claims were never substantiated, they reignited public debates about the NBA's integrity. The league's response to the scandal included not only structural changes but also a shift in how it communicated with fans. One significant reform was the introduction of last two-minute reports, which analyze officiating decisions in the final minutes of close games. These reports aim to provide transparency but have also sparked controversy by highlighting the frequency of officiating errors. For many fans, the reports are a double-edged sword. While they offer insights into the referee's performance, they also serve as a reminder of how much influence officiating has on the game. The legacy of the Donaghy scandal continues to haunt the NBA. Although the league has made strides in rebuilding its reputation, the incident remains a cautionary tale about the vulnerabilities inherent in professional sports. Every controversial call, every lopsided free throw count, and every improbable playoff comeback is now viewed through the lens of skepticism that Donaghy's actions created. For some fans, the scandal reinforced long-standing beliefs that the NBA prioritizes entertainment and profits over fair competition, an accusation the league has struggled to shake. Beyond the NBA, the Donaghy scandal had broader implications for professional sports. It highlighted the dangers of unchecked power among officials and the potential for corruption in high-stakes environments. Other leagues took note, implementing their own reforms to safeguard the integrity of their games. In this sense, Donaghy's actions served as a wake-up call, prompting sports organizations worldwide to prioritize transparency and accountability. Ultimately, the story of Tim Donaghy is one of betrayal, greed, and the lasting consequences of lost trust. His actions didn't just tarnish his own reputation, they cast a shadow over the entire NBA, a shadow that lingers to this day. For fans, players, and coaches, the scandal was a painful reminder that even the most beloved institutions are not immune to corruption. Yet it also demonstrated the resilience of the NBA community, which has worked tirelessly to restore faith in the game. As fans, we invest our emotions, time, and money into the sports we love, believing in the integrity of the competition. The Donaghy scandal was a stark reminder of how fragile that trust can be. But it also showed the importance of vigilance and accountability in preserving the purity of the game. If you found this exploration of one of the NBA's darkest chapters insightful, please give this video a like, share it with your fellow basketball fans, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth stories that delve into the drama, history, and brilliance of the game. What are your thoughts on the Tim Donaghy scandal? Do you think the NBA has fully recovered? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more stories that uncover the heart of basketball, the good, the bad, and everything in between.